Well, as these wildfires sweep through some of America's most exclusive neighborhoods, attention is already turning to the cost of this disaster. The commercial weather forecaster AccuWeather estimates losses so far of around $52 billion, but warned that's likely to rise. The world's largest reinsurance group says hurricanes, fires and other disasters caused a total of $320 billion of losses in 2024. That's around a third higher than the previous year.
Well, let's talk now to Stefan Doerr, who's a professor of wildfire science at Swansea University. Good to see you, Stefan. Welcome to the programme. So clearly these fires are still not under control, lots of damage there. But how damaging could they be economically and for insurers?
Well, of course, because a lot of properties have already been destroyed. These are very high-value properties. Chances are this may well turn into the most expensive wildfire disaster, at least for insured losses, in Californian history and likely also in US history. The verdict is still out, for example, how much exactly the Maui fire in Hawaii actually cost. But it's very probable that these fires exceed those costs.
And why have these particular ones been so bad?
It's been a combination of a number of factors. One is the very strong Santa Ana winds, which are not unusual this time of the year. But what is unusual is that we've had the summer drought extend well into winter, so we haven't had any significant winter precipitation, and that meant that the vegetation is tinder dry. All it takes is a single ignition and you have one big fire. We now have 5 fires in the area. They are extremely challenging to suppress. So hopefully with the change in wind that we're expecting in this area, there will be some progress.
Looking at figures from last year, there was a big rise in the cost of losses from various natural disasters. Are they really getting worse or more frequent?
Absolutely. I mean, as far as fires are concerned, what we're seeing, and that's well demonstrated through studies, is that the fires are globally becoming more extreme. It doesn't necessarily mean that the fires are bigger everywhere, but certainly when it comes to the United States and also Canada, fire size, fire intensity and fire frequency are all on the rise. And this, of course, brings with it a much greater damage. The other part of the equation is that we have more and more properties, infrastructures in areas that are prone to wildfire, and Malibu is a key example here. If you bring this together with more extreme fire behavior, of course, the costs are going through the roof.
So let's talk about North America and Canada that you mentioned there. Why are those areas so vulnerable to natural disasters?
Yeah, again, when it comes to fire in particular, North America, especially Western North America, has an almost unique combination of very dense vegetation and also very flammable vegetation and ignition. Many fires are caused by lightning, especially in Canada, for example, but also many fires are caused by humans. Most fires actually are caused by humans. And because many of the areas are densely populated, the possibility of an ignition, whether that is directly by, say, a campfire, by a discarded cigarette, by an electrical fault, or anything else, if you increase population density, you will increase the risk of fire. So, and bring onto this the increased occurrence of drought, that basically means that we are likely to have many fires into the future in the United States, especially in the West Coast. What we've also been seeing across the world, but especially in the Western United States, is that the fire season, so the conditions under which fires are likely to occur, has lengthened. Globally, it lengthened for about 27% since 2018. Since 2008, yes. And that means that the probability of a fire occurring at any time of the year has increased. And of course, in California, the situation is even worse. The fire weather season has lengthened even more, and that means greater probability of fire.
I mean, we are talking about some areas which are just becoming uninsurable, aren't they, because of the high risk of living there. What does that mean for all of us, for our premiums?
I think it means two things. Ultimately, it's all about business. So if you can cover the costs, it may well be insurable, but for many people, it has become uninsurable. This is the case for many natural disasters, whether it is in floodplains, whether it is in fire-affected areas. But there is also, I think, there's some small positive twist in there. The insurers have a role to play in actually lowering the premiums when house owners, basically property owners, actually do everything they can to reduce the fire risk. And there's a lot of things that people can do.
Professor, great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme. That's Professor Stefan Doerr from Swansea University.